One of the things that you get taught whenever you're doing the drone piloting programs is about the dangers of your drone and dangers of if it crashes, if it loses control, if it starts flying straight towards an airport or a nuclear submarine base. Yes, that has happened as well. And all the kind of fail-safes that you're meant to have in place whenever something does go wrong. And that's one of the main things that you're taught is your fail-safes, what to do if it goes bad. And how to mitigate, if something does go wrong, mitigate the potential badness of it happening. So that's why I say make sure that you have an exclusion zone, that you have safety cones, that you have a high-vis jacket, that you make sure everyone within a 50-meter radius knows what's happening, and all that kind of stuff. Unfortunately, there's been a terrible story in the UK where a toddler, I didn't quite see his age, 18-month-old, has had his eyeball sliced out of his head because a drone hit a tree or lost control, and as it was falling down to the ground, there was a toddler at propeller level and it has sliced through his eyeball. So a lot of people said, oh yeah, as if it's going to happen, it's a 1 in a million chance, blah, blah, blah. Unfortunately now there's over 1 million drones that are out there, and there's over 1 million crashes and incidents happening every year. So therefore, unfortunately, this is something which we are going to have to be aware of and realise that this is an actual thing that happens. It's not something that might happen in the future, it's something which is actually happening now. So I'll put the link to this BBC article down below. This was the 26th of November 2015 even. And it's a horrendous story. It doesn't say what type of drone it was or anything like that. It could have been a cheap one that you just have for like indoor flying. It doesn't really matter. What you've got is spinning propellers which can slice through skin, and if there's toddlers anywhere near around, it can easily slice through their skin, and in this case, through the eyeball. Now, even if it's in a park, at a friend's house, somewhere like that, none of that matters if there's anybody around that thinks, oh, look at that, and they don't quite realise that a thing falling down towards them with spinning blades of death can potentially cause them harm. It doesn't matter if you've got fail-safes or not after that fact, because you shouldn't have had children in the area when you're going to shoot it. And unfortunately, children and dogs, that's another one, all think, oh wow, what's that? Dogs will run after it and bark. Children will run after it and point. And if something goes wrong, like in this case, there's serious problems when it does go wrong. So for everyone, I'm saying, if you want to buy a drone, go for it. You can get amazing footage of cool places and of cool things, but whenever you are flying it, you've got to be thinking about the worst case scenario at every situation. Not the case of, oh, I'm just going to fly it in the park. That's great, but then if a bird attacks it and it loses control, then it suddenly starts spinning down towards a child or a woman in a pram. That's not going to be a good situation for anyone going on there. So do it out in the fields, do it near reservoirs, do it near forests or up in the mountains, where there's people that don't know what's going on or don't understand the dangers or aren't paying full attention to the flight that's happening. Don't. That's my advice. I'll put the link to this down in the description below. Cheers, bye bye.